I, Stephen Brimstone, do solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that the evidence I shall give shall be truthful and honest, and that I will give the committee all such information and assistance as I can to enable it to discharge its responsibilities. I can't comment on that. I can't answer to that, I'm afraid. I can't give it under affirmation. I can't give a definitive. I'm not in a position to share details pertaining to the fact-finding exercise of this committee. I can't recall any particular discussion regarding
any particular discussion. What does that mean?
I'm not getting into matters relating to the internal party discussion. But I don't believe that I can share matters of the internal party matter.
Why not? This bullying. Oh, here we go again. Another distraction.
I'm not prepared to answer internal party related matters. And again, Chair, I'm not in a position to answer questions of an internal party matter.
Well, you are in a position, but you won't.
I can't recall exactly where I was. I had it, but I can't put my hands on it now. Not that I can recall, no. I go back to my earlier evidence, and still I cannot recall the precise conversation with Mr. Sands. I can't answer that question. That I cannot recall a conversation with Mr. Sands, and I cannot recall any other occasion except one when I was in the Lighthouse building at that time. I can't answer that question. And I'm reading the email. As I said, I can't recall the conversation.
You take great refuge in not being able to recall things.
It's 3.5 years ago, Mr. Alistair.
It's 3.5 years ago about incidents which have been hardly out of your mind, I would suggest, in those 3.5 years, given the notoriety that is attached to this matter.
I can't answer that question. Well, I don't accept because I can't recall where I was when this conversation took place, nor can I recall who else was in the room when the conversation took place that instigated this email. I think I've been clear to the committee around any answers to questions relating to the fact-finding exercise, and as again, as State Chair, I'm unfortunately not in a position to answer such questions.
You're refusing to answer that question as well.
And I've said I'm not prepared to answer. To the fact-finding exercise.
It was not in the system.
Which system? I don't recall ever doing this, by the way. I can't recall if I actually, whether it was a hard copy or an electronic copy. Where that discussion took place, at what time, even on what day, I can't answer. If I can't recall the conversation, I can't recall the conversation. And I can't recall the conversation with Mr. Jennings. Listen, I can't recall it. It may have been off my own bat.
Mr. Brimstone, you've relied upon internal party matter and therefore are unable to answer some of the questions that were put to you. Can I ask, are you under instruction from anyone else within your party to give that, or is this something you've taken upon yourself as an interpretation of how you should respond to the inquiry's questions?
I can't comment on any internal party matter.
Whatever your objections were to the content of the programme, they weren't such that it motivated you to initiate any legal proceedings. Is that fair?
Well, I haven't initiated any legal proceedings.
Yes.